and some events may require other human intervention. And this will happen to all of us in this room. And when I visit my patients in ICU, I see them lying on the bed, on the ventilator, every day. That's an everyday feature with us. But I also know in the back of my mind, it is also going to happen to me. Today I'm seeing them in the bed, in the ventilator, in the ICU bed. I'm also going to be there, unless I'm finished off in a road traffic accident where I don't reach the hospital. So that is a thing for each one of us here. So that's probably one of the reasons all of us may be interested to develop solutions. So these people, of course, had a map. It was a paper-based map. Depending on the point of time in evolution, it would have changed from reed to paper, and finally electronic media. And perhaps, if I can make a audacious proposition, in this generation we could try to prepare a Google map of healthcare, because that's something which we are all familiar with. We are driving, and the Google map, the voice is telling us where to go. So why can't we have such a kind of a solution for our complex healthcare needs? What is preventing us from having that? And I think from the gist of what I've gone through the previous day's discussion, although I was not here, at certain point it is probably helping to develop that support system in the individual illnesses journey. I think that's what all of you would perhaps be looking forward to working for. So what I propose is, in fact, we are going to demo it in that way. So it's a kind of an analogy that we are trying to bring in here, that we in this age can develop a Google map of healthcare, which is going to take us to our preferred destination. And we will come to the demo soon. Before that, we see what the other pictures are. Yes. Again, we went into the etymology of science, and it comes from the word schizos, which actually comes from this instrument, this cutting instrument, sickle. So schiz means to cut, and generally that word itself has come from this instrument, which is a sickle. And very interestingly, it looks like this. So you see, this is a very important instrument of science, an abstract instrument, which is a symbol that we forever always use. And this is where science begins. We use the sickle to break down whatever large created complexity is posed before us in the form of problems. So how do we solve those problems? We first break them down, we cut them to pieces, and then we try to join them together again. So it's more like a jigsaw puzzle where you have science to break whatever exists. To understand it, you break it down into its parts, or as people call it, reductionist approach, and then you try to fit them together again. So this is what we will hopefully be demoing today, that when the patient comes to us with a complex problem, we may call it an external journey, where you have his life events playing out in and around his environment. The interactions that he has had with other human beings, the interaction that he has had with the environment, the food, and so many things. So those are the external events, the influence of the environment. While there's something going on inside his body. The body itself is such a fantastic technological marvel. 30 trillion cellular organism. All these 30 trillion cells are collaborating with each other to make it function in the way we are doing now. Right now I'm just talking to you using my vocal cords, producing these vibrations which are vibrating the microphone and producing some kind of semantics. And I'm using some kind of vocal cord syntax to produce that semantics, which is automatically going into your brain, giving you certain kinds of thought processes. So this is where what we will try to demo as to how we break down a complex narrative of external events and also the internal events that are going on inside the 30 trillion cell organism. How we try try to combine this external map, let's say at the surface of the earth, with the internal map of the individual, which is called as internal medicine, and draw up solutions, like solutions as if you go in this way and then you take another turn and go 200 meters and you will reach your destination, something like that. So now, if you see, can you make out what is this jigsaw image showing? Some of you may have seen these slides earlier, Mike, and it's all available in that link. You can go to medicinedepartment.blogspot.com, and this is the first post. So, anybody can make it out? Yeah, I mean, what is this thing that the puzzle is coming to now at this stage? Actually, for us healthcare professionals, this is the maximum we often reach. You know, in terms of a diagnosis or even therapeutic certainties are like this. We hardly get to see ever the full picture. So this is like kind of good enough for us. And sometimes when we are not very sure, we call it empirical therapy, in the sense that now we are not very sure, so we have to experiment. You know, if the person is having fever, pneumonia, and we don't know what is the cause of the pneumonia, nothing is growing on the bronchoscopy. So we have to give an experiment. We have to do an experiment and give some kind of chemicals to see if it works. So this is where we most of the times reach. So let's see if none of you can guess. That's a very interesting thing. Now, is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this would be our 100% certain diagnosis. You know, all of us can immediately fit our mental models, which have this database here, through our past experiences, and immediately take this data and match. And everybody's got a match.